not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show is live on Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. I don't know why I'm singing it, but it's just a great day to be Monty. Probably not Jake either. But, you know, The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. I can be awkward if I want, right? I can sing songs all day if I want. Who am I, Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel next to the pool? You know, The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. And the best part is you never reach into your pocket to pay The Advocates. It is one of those things where The Advocates understand how important empathy and understanding is when you're having one of the worst days of your life. Because let's be honest, if you're calling an injury attorney, you're not having a good day. If you got attacked by a dog, you're not having a good day. If you were in an Uber and that Uber driver was irresponsible and reckless, you're not having a good day. Let The Advocates take all of that off your plate. You get back to living the best version of your life. The Advocates get back to fighting for you and getting you what you deserve. Because I'm telling you now, your insurance company is not going to fight for you. Your insurance company is not trying to pay you. They're trying to keep all that bread for themselves. That's why you go to theadvocates.com. Good morning, everybody. Let me tell you, this Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel story, I haven't been excited about an extramarital affair. You know, listen, as we talk about eliminating societies off the face of the earth, why don't we do the same for happily married couples? Like, you know, I am a huge fan of Diana Rossini. Okay, let's just keep it real. Diana Rossini is, yeah, I'm Team Diana. There's no doubt about it. Now, Mike Vrabel, I don't know if I'm Team Braves. Jake, do you think they're having an affair? Because I think it's important to note that they've both denied it. They have both said, nope, this is just a reporter and a coach that are staying in the same resort. And, you know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's just a reporter and a coach staying in the same hotel. And, you know, I don't know. I was, you know, I'm 10 years old. Yeah, sure. Okay, Diana. Sure, Vrabes. We believe you. We believe you is about as much as we believe that, you know, the Big Ten is, you know, just an incredible conference and they're the deepest conference in the land, dude. No, nobody believes this, dude. Nobody believes this. And Diana Rossini, true, not true, factual, not factual. I have no idea, bro. I'm not reporting anything as fact. I'm just telling you what the optics are online, and the optics are that Diana Rossini has allegedly, potentially, you know, been involved with others in the league before. And here we go again. Only this time there's pictures. So I don't believe them for a second. What else are they going to say? Yeah, we're having an affair. Like, come on.
Yeah, we're smashing.
Come on, dude.
I mean, Diana Rossini is a hell of a nice person. I worked with her at ESPN. She's honest to goodness. She's one of those people you like talking to. You know, like she's just bubbly. She's a really nice person. I would have a hard time believing. I mean, not as hard as never mind. The point is, I would have a hard time believing that she's having an affair with Mike Vrabel. That would be an incredible breach of ethics. Like that would be.
Waves in
Would you
opposition.
you wouldn't even be surprised if this was true?
No, I wouldn't even be surprised, not even a little bit. Nope. I think that the NFL is a really small world. I think Diana Rossini is one of those people in that world that not only looks good but is good at her job. And obviously, like you said, she's extremely personable. So I think that the idea that the story they are floating is that, hey, these pictures are not indicative of the actual situation, that there were 6 of us at this hotel and you only took pictures of just me and Mike and made it, you guys essentially, the media made it look like it was just me and him, having a little hotel weekend together.
Jake, it's called a smash and grab.
Hey, we're not in a relationship, but we're involved. Like it just, you're not beating the allegations, dude. Here, let me roll out more Cool Kids Club culture. You guys side questing at the hotel in the off season didn't really work out for you, did it? Like, yeah,
It did not.
bro went to the Super Bowl and lost, and we get that. But that doesn't mean that you all of a sudden get a free pass in the offseason to go and hang out with Diana and then try to tell us that it's just the media making a big deal and we're not, miss me with it's the media's fault, dude. Maybe if you two weren't half naked in a pool together, we wouldn't have anything to talk about. I know that that's rocket science, bro.
Well, and obviously Mike Vrabel's married, Diana Rossini's married, and this is an incredibly bad look.
Yeah.
It is not like, I don't know how you get away from this. That's the problem. And again, this is one frame, but this does not look like just, hey, we're hanging buddy. No, that's not, Mike. That's not what that looks like.
Nope, it's not. No, it's not. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, it's, so let's say that they never did anything, that they were actually just hanging out. It's still a breach of ethics on Diana's part. 100%. You should not be in a pool with an NFL head coach. That's just not, you're a media member, man. You are not, like, you're fraternizing with Mike Vrabel. That's unethical at a minimum. And
I don't know about all that.
Oh, come on, dude. No. You're telling me it's okay for her to be in a pool with a head coach as a media member and he's a head coach? There's no way that's okay.
If they just happen to be in the same place at the same time, who cares? It's not like there's photos of them. Let's be honest. If we never thought about a smash and grab, as I like to call it, and these are just 2 friends hanging out at a pool, not sexual, we're just hanging out. This is not unethical in any way, shape, or form. It's not. The problem is nobody believes that. Nobody believes that. And she's married and he's married and it's a bad look. So I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't think there's any chance?
But there's no chance they're just friends hanging out in the pool. Sorry, dude. That's not how it works. And I don't know. Maybe I'm a little surprised that you think that it would be okay if they were just hanging out. Like I think it's, let me say this. I think it's extremely unlikely. Like, couldn't be more unlikely that they just happen to be at the same hotel at the same time and it just all worked out.
NFL meetings. So it's not that surprising. I just think we need to there's almost no chance, in my opinion, this was just dudes. I mean, she's got You guys understand she's married. I think she's married to the president and CEO of Shake Shack. She's got 2 kids. Like she's, I think, I want to say, I want to hold on. Yeah, he's an executive at Shake Shack. Yeah. So this is page 6, by the way, of the post. So it's not like this is somebody just making stuff up.
Page 6 of the post and front page on Twitter, dude. Like
everywhere on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's. I don't know, man. I guess I don't know. For me, maybe it's too far, but I just expect better from her.
Her husband went to Penn State, so sexual ambiguity is not surprising then.
Yeah, like I feel like. I don't know, man. I just think there's unwritten rules when you're a female reporter and you're covering the NFL and you've had the career that she's had. She's had a phenomenal career. She's one of the best in the industry. There's no question about it. That's her epic battles with Aaron Rodgers are incredibly enjoyable to watch. And
she won those battles.
And she won those battles. So I'm not saying that this has anything to do with her reporting or like her ability or anything like that. All I'm simply saying is that let's say it was NFL meetings. That's a great example. I still don't think that you should be in this type of position. Maybe the media is
Can you clarify position?
Yeah, I don't think that you should be in a matching bikini set in a pool with Braves to the point where the media has access in any form or fashion. Well, I didn't know the media would be there. They snuck around the corner. It's the media, dude. What do you expect? Like, are you living under a rock? Like, do you think that nobody's going to see this? And by the way, this isn't some, DSLR high-end camera. This is cell phone picture footage right here. So someone took pictures of you at the pool that you didn't know and got this to the media. So I'm just simply saying, dude, I understand that, in the pool, they're just sitting there, but the one where they're holding hands and it looks like they're, like, oh, it's so good to see you. Like this is like, you're not just friends, dude. Like, I'm sorry.
You feel like this is smitten?
Yeah, this is smitten, dude. You're excited to see each other. It's not your first time. Like, come on, bro. Like, you're in the media, the rules, you have a responsibility, and you broke the code of ethics, and you're going to deny it, and I understand that, and I have no problem with it. But just for the sake of the conversation, there's not a chance that you're just friends, in my opinion. I don't think there's no way you're just friends. No way.
Yeah, I'm just not that. I don't know.
Look at Buddy's face, dude. Look at how excited he is to see her, man. Like, he is smiling.
She does kind of have that head looking down, like.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. I just am not going to leap. I'm not going to leap to it, But if you found this photo of your wife on her phone,
I'd be pissed. It'd be absolutely
difficult to just overlook it, right?
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
And again, this is just so that we're all on the same page. This was not like somebody at the pool with them taking these photos. This was the photo you see is from a long way away. This is not a close-up. And they're saying, Rossini and Vrabel are saying that there were a lot of other people there. And they just happened to run into each other, and it's not a good look, dude. I mean, if you're the New York Times, do you fire her?
No, you don't fire her until there is concrete evidence that it was more than.
Okay, let's say it comes out that they're smashing. Do you fire her?
Yes, immediately.
I think you have to.
Immediately. It's not even a question. And she shouldn't be upset with anybody that's firing her over it if there's concrete evidence.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like, you knew the rules, you decided to play ball, and here we are. And again, I just want to point out, I have no problem with you looking good and doing your job well and playing the game.
She does. Oh, you mean as a reporter?
And flirting and doing all that. That's part of for those of you who have never been around the media circle and in that world, that is part of the game, dude. That is absolutely, positively, strategically part of the game. I have no problem with that. But the very moment you have a toenail over the line, now you're getting into water you don't want to be in. And that's in my opinion what we have. However, in their defense, there is no concrete evidence. There is no way to hold them to account for what allegedly happened.
Allegedly.
You have to have concrete evidence, which nobody has. So, and if it really came down to it, if you're saying there were 6 other people there, then or I think they said there was a total of 6 of them, so 4 other people there, including you and Mike, then I'm sure those people would vouch for you. So, I don't expect anything to happen to her. I don't expect anything to happen to Mike. I expect them to get asked about it. More Mike than Diana, because we see Mike a lot more. So,
Yeah, it's brutal. Anyway, and just looking at like the Twitter comments on this, dude. You guys are a bunch of a-holes.
Macaque.
And I just, I just want people to understand that.
Come on, dude.
Yeah. It's a bike sheet, but damn.
Your third leg was just phenomenal.
Bro, why? Diana, why? Yeah, anyway. I don't think she should be fired. There's no evidence they're having an affair.
Nope, no evidence.
So,
no evidence, just allegations, dude. And we're going to have fun with it. And we will continue. This will not be the last time that the Mike Vrabel pool party activities come up in NFL circles.
Got no trouble with Mike being like Mike.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Jay, you're not
dude.
wrong. Eric and Raleigh, she's in the media. She should know.
Come on, dude.
There is no privacy. I agree. She should know.
Well, it's like there's no privacy, and she should know the rules. So,
Yeah, Jake, they're friends.
Yeah, they're friends, dude. It's no big deal. What's the big deal? This effing guy over here. What's the problem?
Benefits. They're friends with.
It's just you. It's just Buddy over here and your wife hanging out in a pool. What could go wrong? Come on, bro.
It's OTAs. Clearly a team sanctioned activity.
Mm-hmm.
The owner of the Patriots.
Oh, Orchids of Asia. Gotcha.
Oh, good pull. Oak State James's right hand. But James.
What's up, big bro?
Why, Maury?
Stay hard.
Oh, dude.
Why? No, I'm not. Mike, no Natalie Wood references today. That'd be great. If we weren't talking about that. Wow, the hot tub picture looks terrible.
Agreed, it's not her best look, but still give her some breaks. She's not in full.
I'm not paying attention to her nose. I'm just letting you know that right now.
Don't touch me there. That, sir, is my no square.
Right? I'm not necessarily worried about her nose.
And again, here's my other point. This is
we
totally
know.
minutia, totally, this is just me watching Diana from afar for years. Homegirl is wearing a power color as well. I'd like to point that out. Homegirl is wearing red, dude. Like, we all know what it is, bro. No, everybody cares, dude. You're wearing red? Okay. All right. Okay. Getting after it, bro. No problem. And I might add, Mike looks really comfortable. Just pointing that out.
And here she's laughing, and I just don't think there's anything to see here. These are far more damning photos. Look at her hand on his hip. This, and look at them interlocking their fingers. There is intimacy in the way that they are touching.
Yes.
There's no question about it.
Yes.
Right? And this is the angle, just so you guys know. I want to show you how far away the picture was taken from. That's why it's blurry. Okay, so
Oh yeah, Monty, dude, this is bro over here at TMZ. We actually got these photos through the launch codes of the International Space Station.
Artemis says like they took this photo of Mike Vrabel pounding Diana Rossini from Artemis too.
Yeah, the backside of the moon has a whole new meaning, Monty.
We're going back to the fucking moon, that's why.
It's so blurry because it's so far away. Oh my God. Welcome to the Nightmare. Rossini was just trying to, quote, do an interview.
Do the interview. Yes.
Speaking to the mic. Just outside of camera's view, Mrs. Monty is giving Monty the side-eye glare when he was saying you like talking to her. She's a great girl. She's a really...
She's a good person, dude. That's not the
She's
point.
fun. Yeah, she's a really nice person.
That's precisely why Mike is in trouble here, dude. Because she's a good person.
Polly on Facebook says friends with benefits, apparently.
Yeah.
Eric on Twitter. ESPN is not ethical sports programming network. No, they're not. See Sean Salisbury's thumb. I know it's Salisbury, but it's fine. You know, it is what it is. Bailey's convinced it's an affair.
At least emotionally.
I would not want my again. I understand we all want the bikini pictures. It's this photo right here.
Yeah.
Look at her eyes. And it's that shy girl, you know.
Yes.
And look at the way their hands are. Look at the way they come together. You know, he is a big dude.
Yeah.
He is a big dude.
Gotta be playing the NFL, dude.
Played in the NFL.
Yeah, man.
And she's a mother of two who is married. So I hope there is no affair. I hope she loves her Shake Shack sandwiches or in this case, her Shake Shack glizzy. And, you know, this is just people hanging out in a hot tub. It's all you can hope for. You know, that's not what happened. In my opinion. Pete Forte, who's been a member for 29 months. He'd appreciate that. Welcome to the nightmare. Clearly, Vrabel is getting his 21 times a month in. 32 months.
Nice,
welcome
dude.
to the nightmare. Good to see you. And then there's James White, who's a chaplain.
Oh, okay. So Chaplain White's only been a member for 2 months. Okay. Well, at least this account's growing. Right?
Rookie.
Yeah. You know.
Ball didn't go in the hoob. Appreciate you, Chaplain James White. You know. Why does her nose look so big in the one picture?
I agree it does, unfortunately for her.
Why are you guys obsessing over her nose?
Because it just, you can't just skip over that. By the way, how far into the shadows are you taking this picture? Jesus. Look how dude.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm not I'm not looking at her nose.
Everybody needs to get a life, bro.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she's got a beak on her. Great. Awesome. I agree. It's probably not the best photo, but anyway, just thought I would share the news.
Tampering.
Yeah. I mean, Vrabel's tampering with the Rossinis.
Tampering 101.
Yeah.
It's
I hate what it does. Before we move on, I hate what it does for women in the media. I hate what it does because we immediately go to, oh, they're smashing.
What else would we do? Is it really a fair ask to not go to those lengths after the pictures? I mean,
yeah.
That's the hard part. I mean, if it was just them, like I would feel better about these two if it was just them like sitting at a bar or something. Like at least then I'm like, yeah, you're at a bar, like it's not a big deal. Who cares? You're in the pool together, dude. Like that's a different thing. Like
why? Because she's wearing a bikini?
Because it's just even more casual.
It's this photo right here.
I know it's this one that's the most damning, but I'm just saying if you look at the totality of the situation, like if I said to you a media member is this comfortable with an NFL head coach.
No problem. What if this is Dan Orlovsky and Mike Vrabel? Uh-oh.
Yeah,
no,
that's totally different, dude.
You wouldn't say two words
over that. No, I wouldn't, because it's not a female and a male. That's totally different, bro. That's completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem for Diana. The hypocrisy is, did you guys see her nose?
Come on, dude.
You guys are haters. Is it one of those work wife situations? She's ultra friendly, trying to get info from Vrabel.
But you ought to know about work wife, huh?
Yes, smashing Walmart managers like your Mike Vrabel. If you don't want to be seen in that light, don't put yourself into that light.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I couldn't agree more, dude.
That's why Artemis took the picture. Her nose was showing up from space. Wow.
Damn.
Bro.
Damn, bro.
It's not that big. That's what she said.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm fine with her nose.
Yeah. Again, I have no issue with her reporting or anything like that. I'm not willing to give an industry veteran the benefit of the doubt here. Like you knew what the situation was, bro. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were doing, and deny it.
She's dedicated to getting stories.
I know. She's willing to do anything to get sourced information. We understand.
She's got a nose for the news.
Yeah, right? I mean, wow, dude. Incredible.
Work with me on this. This is the James and Walmart situation all over again.
Yeah, we're supposed to feel sorry for a guy claiming to be a pastor who went into a Walmart and took her back to the home and garden section and did whatever they did in the manure section.
They did what they did.
I mean, what are we even supposed to say?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know is the answer to that. I don't think Dan Orlovsky is a hardcore God guy. Like he's a church, so he probably is a moral degenerate. It is what it is. Are you guys talking about Vrabel slam piece? What is wrong with you?
Whatever.
Bro said slam piece.
You caveman looking casuals commenting on her looks is wild. Yeah, not everybody on who watches the show is as good looking as such as in like myself.
I want to thank me for having no days off.
Her nose is bigger than Jake's nose. Can James officiate a wedding? Asking for the Vrabes. Okay, we should probably move on. Let's talk about the Big 12 because this is a pretty interesting story. So just working on this Cody Campbell story. The Friday night, you guys know that Fox wants to move Texas Tech and Houston to Friday night, September 18th. We are obviously Cody Campbell went full, wipe civilizations off the face of the earth about it. Oh, wait, I got confused with his buddy, Donnie, Cody. Same thing. Anyway, the point is, Cody Campbell says everything runs through Lubbock and we're not playing on Friday night. Sort of. It's not a direct quote. That's what I think he's saying. And the interesting part isn't just talking to people about this. The Big 12 is split on this. It sounds like there are some in the Big 12 who are all in agreement with Mike Vrabel. I said Mike Vrabel. With Cody Campbell. It sounds like there are some in the Big 12 that are in agreement with Cody Campbell. I did it again. It sounds like there are a number of people in the Big 12 that are in agreement with Cody Campbell. And it sounds like there are fewer people in the Big 12 who are in agreement with Brett Yormark. And it's an interesting look. Again, where Brett Yormark, it feels like, and it sounds like, just talking to people around the world here, it sounds like Brett Yormark is losing his ironclad grip on this conference. It sounds like there is division. It sounds like there is turmoil. It sounds like Cody Campbell, I think is Cody Campbell destabilizing the Big 12? Yeah, I think he is, in my opinion. I think Cody Campbell, with his Washington connections and his billions of dollars and his unwillingness to honor, it seems, the TV contract that the Big 12 has in place, Jake, it feels like Cody Campbell is causing some division, and Brett Yormark's paying a price for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the hard part is that Cody, Cody is just so outspoken about everything. I mean, he just is so like loudmouth about it that it puts Brett in a position where he has to work with the league office, and he's gotta find a way to figure out how to best move forward, because that's what nobody wants to talk about, dude, is that he everyone wants to say, oh, well, he works for Cody Campbell, or like he's he works for the presidents and the board and yada, yada, yada. But the reality is that this conference was in a perfectly fine place until Cody Campbell started running his mouth. And
I would agree.
And the problem is that Brett Yormark has a track record of a lot of success and helping people and brands move in a positive direction and an upward direction. And I don't know that we can say that about Cody Campbell. I think we can say that Cody Campbell knows how to build an energy company and oil, and he has had success, obviously, in that sector. But at some point, there has to be a conversation around the fact that he has no idea what he's talking about with TV contracts, has no idea what he's talking about with like the Sports Broadcasting Act and just this whole angle about pooling media rights and just all these wannabe ideas. And the hard part is we're going to get to a place, and this is something I feel pretty confident in. Like, we'll get to a place if this continues, if this ball continues to roll downhill, where Brett Yormark will leave this conference at some point, inevitably, because obviously if the presidents and everyone's starting to align with Cody, not Brett, that puts Brett in an awkward position, and Brett's not going to be the guy that's going to stay somewhere he's unwanted. He'll go somewhere where he's wanted and where he can make a difference, and that's fine. That's his right. But if you lose Brett Yormark, I don't see how that's good for your conference in a time when you are arguably the third or fourth worst football conference in the country right now by postseason success, in a time when your conference is really struggling. I mean, let's be honest. Like, you had 8 in the tournament, and you didn't really get all that far, dude. Like, I understand Arizona. Yeah. Okay, great. But Arizona, regardless of what conference they're in, would get far. They're just that school. They were doing that when they were in the Pac-12. It's not new to the Big 12, right? Or it's not new to them. It's new to the Big 12. So I look at the Big 12 and I'm like, yeah, dude, like your tried and trues, your blue blood Big 12 schools are not really doing anything for you right now. Like, you're lucky Bill Self came back. And so when I look at this conference, the issue that Cody Campbell is never going to bring up is that you had 1 year of success. You now think you run the conference. You're going to run Brett Yormark out of there if you keep doing this. And then we're going to get to a day where it's like, all right, Brett's gone. You have an interim. All right, Cody, it's your show. Where do we go? Oh, I don't know, dude. I'm not sure. Yeah. That's the issue, dude. So I don't think that this is like, I don't think that Brett Yormark is going to play this clown show, this pony show of like, tug of war for power. I don't think he's willing to do that. I think Brett, just in my opinion, literally watching him in person work and the way he talks to people and how all that kind of goes down for him personally, like, the dude is literally going to, I think, would say, hey, if you guys want to follow Cody Campbell, if you don't think that what I have to say or the stuff that I built for you guys is the best for this conference, I'll just go ahead and pack it up and I'll go and find another opportunity. Now, I don't know where that opportunity would be, whether that's pro ranks, college ranks, maybe not in sports at all, maybe in the business sector. but he will find a spot. This is not a Brett Yormark problem, and we need to be on the same page about this.
Well, and I've been telling you this, and I was again told yesterday that Brett Yormark has had opportunities to leave the Big 12, and he has not. I think from what I understand is that Brett Yormark feels like he has unfinished business. This is his 4th year in the Big 12 as commissioner. Obviously, he has, made sweeping changes in the way business is done in the Big 12. The Big 12 clearly is on more significant footing than it was before Brett Yormark was the commissioner. They're making more money. They have more distribution and reach. The event-based stuff that they're doing with the Big 12 basketball tournament, obviously Pro Day, Big 12 championship, women's sports, and its rise in the Big 12. Like, Brett Yormark has had a significant impact on the way business is done in this league. And if he were to leave, and I was told that he had an opportunity with the NFL for a job late last year that he did not take. Brett Yormark, I think, has felt frustrations based on what Big 12 presidents are unwilling to do. And I think you look at the latest few of these stories, Smash Capital, and now this Cody Campbell power struggle, if you will. I think this is a really difficult time for the Big 12 as far as unity. And I think, and if I'm correct, and I believe that I am, I think this is the first time that we are seeing real strife, real division amongst leadership in the Big 12. And I think a lot of it is surrounding the issues that Cody Campbell talks about. I think that it's interesting talking to folks that the buyout situation with Brendan Sorsby, I'm not the only one talking about that now. There are other people in this league talking about the fact that Cody Campbell has a little hypocrisy on his face, because you're talking about wanting to enforce rules and make rules, but when your quarterback refuses to pay Cincinnati, you don't want to enforce the rules or make him follow the rules. And I think that's that on top of this Friday Night Football thing. I mean, this is Fox Sports we're talking about.
Yeah.
You're messing with the Big 12's golden goose. And if it's mandated, from what I understand, Texas Tech is going to play on Friday night. And I think it will happen. I think Fox Sports wants Texas Tech in Houston. And if that game doesn't happen on September 18th, I would be very surprised. And I think it is destabilizing for the Big 12. If Cody Campbell is able to puff his chest out and comb his mane and roar at people and things happen, that's bad for the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also undercuts and undermines Brett Yormark, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I just think that the real question I have for Cody Campbell is, why is this Friday night thing the battle you chose? Because you could have chose any number of things to cause an issue about, right? If you really take a second and you think about, well, what is Cody Campbell's sort of initiative, if that's what we want to call it, his motivation, his scheme, his plan?
What's his agenda?
Yeah, what are you trying to do here, dude? What are you, as the big boy at Texas Tech, trying to do to this conference? And if we zoom out, we're looking at a conference that basically had been fighting not to go further downhill and further into irrelevance after Texas and OU bounced, right? After they went to the SEC, I think there were serious questions about the future of this conference, man. There were serious questions about, like, hey, like, what's the long-term viability? And I'm telling you, if there's a path here where the conference doesn't exist, there's also a path here where it can thrive. But the problem is that you have a bunch of administrators and a bunch of folks in this conference that all they see is dollar signs with Cody Campbell. All they see is dollar signs with Smash, and they don't think about, like, yeah, what would be smart right now given the landscape in college athletics, specifically with football. Basketball, I don't think is as big a deal, but specifically with football, what would be smart is to do nothing right now and to wait and to to fulfill your obligations to your TV partners and to wait for the new entity. That is what would be smart. And in the meantime, it'd be nice if like 2 or 3 teams decide to make the CFP, not just one. But we can work on that. But instead, we're getting Cody Campbell doing whatever he's doing. And I'm just telling you guys, like, we've graduated now, right? You guys understand that, right? We're Dave Aranda is no longer the problem. He's just a problem, right? Oklahoma State's incompetence is no longer the problem. It's just a problem. You know, Kansas being K-State, TCU.
Yeah.
Like, these are not the problems anymore. They're just part of a bigger issue, which is the conference is not prioritizing winning. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but the ACC has had more success than you've had the last couple of years. Like if you look at CFP and Miami and you look at SMU's presence, even though they got bounced, like you're talking about a real struggle here. So if Brett Yormark gets run out of this conference and he leaves, I'm not gonna. You're never gonna hear me say that Brett Yormark let this conference melt down. It will be all about Cody Campbell, and it will be all about these presidents in this conference. No question about it.
Well, and I think the other thing to say here is that Friday night is important because are you willing to play on Saturday night or Saturday early? Because looking at the schedule last night, there are huge games, and I guess I should pull it up. But like Florida State, Alabama's that week. Ole Miss, LSU is that week.
Did you complain when you played Utah in the early window?
The schedule, the bigger games that week. Saturday, September 19th. Florida State at Alabama, Georgia at Arkansas, Florida at Auburn, LSU at Ole Miss. Like, those are big games, man. And you know, I just would tell you, to be a showcase on Friday night, avoiding those 4 SEC games. I mean, Florida State at Alabama is a huge game this year.
Yes.
You obviously LSU at Ole Miss, Lane going back to Oxford, like that game's in the SIP. Like, that's going to be a huge game. You know, that's going to be prime time. Why would you want to compete with that when you could have a national spotlight? Because the other Friday game is Miami, Wake Forest, at Wake Forest. You would have a 1-2 punch in games with Texas Tech and Houston at Jones AT&T. That's a national spotlight game for Texas Tech. It's exactly what you need. And I don't understand why it's a blood feud to stop that from happening. I think it's a mistake for the Big 12 to move that game. I think it's a mistake. Yeah. And you shouldn't.
And
because
I mean, I did you learn nothing from the Pac-12? Did you learn nothing from what happens when you damage TV partner relationships? Did you learn nothing from that? Did you learn nothing from what it's like to not be valued? Because again, this is what I mean. This Cody Campbell's lack of experience and lack of education around the finer details of a relationship with TV partners and media rights partners, like it's not just the numbers you put on the tube. It's how they interact with you, the type of relationship you have with them, how valued they feel to you. So you saying that you don't value Friday night because there's high school football, that's just a slap in the face to Fox, dude. It's a slap. And furthermore, I'd even go as far as to say, if you're ESPN watching this, you're wondering what's going to happen. You're sitting here saying, hey, well, if this is how they feel about Fox, I mean, when are we going to have to deal with this? At some point, I'm sure it'll come up. Like if you're going to make an issue with Fox, the whole industry is going to pay attention. And I guarantee you they're watching. And that's what's frustrating is that the Big 12 has a propensity to put out great football. Like, if you watch Big 12 football, you know that the chaos that these games find a way to produce is really second to none. I mean, it's not SEC football. It's not the best of Big 10 football, but man, it's pretty good, dude. Like, I've enjoyed several Big 12 games, and I guess I just don't want this conference to get to a place where we're wondering how long it's going to be until, the SEC and Big 10 start, consuming some of their schools. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's 10 years from now, what does it look like? I'm curious.
Yeah. Again, do BYU and Utah on that prime time slot. Well, you don't want that game to be, what is that, week 3? You don't want the Holy War to be week 3. I think the Holy War is like late October this year. So I there's no reason not to put Texas Tech and Houston on a Friday night.
Yeah.
There's no reason. It makes no sense to me. I feel like if Brett leaves, the Big 12 is on borrowed time. I would agree with that. I made this exact point on Texas Tech's page and got demolished for making the comment. What comment did you make? You don't need Fox rethinking the arrangement. Just ask the Pac-12. Well,
yeah.
Obviously, you're in year 2 of your deal with Fox. I mean, you got a long way to go, but Fox has the right to flex that game. I think Texas Tech Houston would be more interesting if it was the basketball game. Oh, I think these are 2 really important teams in the Big 12. And obviously, Texas Tech believes they're a national championship contender, which they very well could be, which is why you don't mind a national stage on Friday night. And if it's because you're going up to Corvallis the week before, come on, bro. Are you really a national championship contender if the trip to Corvallis is just too much? Come on. Like, what are we even talking about? Right? Like, come on. Let's all be adults, Alex says, I'm not a Big 12 fan, so this doesn't concern me at all.
It should, though. As a fan of the Big 10 or the SEC, it should. Because if the Big 12 melts down, that will rock college football. And I'm not saying the conference right now is in any type of danger of that happening in the near term, because they're not. But I think if you get to a place where, like, look how the ACC is viewed. The ACC is viewed as a conference in football that's 1 or 2 teams. Like, Miami. Correct. And if Florida State decides they want to be good, okay, great. Nobody buys into, first team all tampering because he hasn't won anything in 5 years. Okay. So the ACC right now is basically 2 teams at most on their best year. And the Big 12, the problem for the Big 12 is the ACC's gotten in the national championship game now, right? The ACC has figured it out with Miami, and Miami is back. And Miami's reloaded, allegedly, if you're a Darian Mensah fan. So if you believe the hype on Darian Mensah and you believe everything that Mario's saying, they should be right in the thick of it again in the CFP come this fall. So I don't, if they're back in it again and you're bounced in the, let's call it the second round, the quarters, I guess, you're not the ACC. You're below the ACC at that point because you haven't shown an ability to beat, again, we're gonna get another Dan Lanning bashing today, but you haven't shown the ability to beat the Big 10 or to beat the SEC. So I don't look at the Big 12 and say, yeah, man, I'm really threatened or intimidated by what they could do in the CFP. And until you show that ability, you won't be taken seriously. And that problem is pervasive through the conference. Like, look at BYU. BYU has this great season. You literally only lost to Tech twice, and you still didn't get in. And that's why. Because nobody believes if you'd have got in, you would have been competitive. And Tech only got in because they won the conference. Like, that's the problem. You got to show that you can beat the Big 10. You got to show that you can beat the SEC, yet you're over here squabbling about a Friday night game. Like, be better, dude. Like, act like you've been here before. That's my issue with Cody.
Yeah, I think Cody Campbell is learning on the fly. I think he is learning on the fly. And yeah, the oil baron does not know sports management, or the landscape. He should stick to that black gold and making barrels of oil cheaper.
Yeah. Why don't you focus on the Strait of Hormuz with your boy instead of messing up the Big 12 TV deal?
Jake, the Strait of Hormuz is open.
Mm-hmm. You meant to say it was open. You meant to say the Fox TV deal was perfectly fine until You created an issue with the Strait of Hormuz, I mean the Fox TV deal, and now you're going to have to work that out with Fox, I mean another country.
Yeah.
Like you're doing the same thing here, dude. There were no problems, and now you've created problems.
I'm sure he would love to take Adam Silver's job. It was offered. Well, he used to work at the NBA, Brett Yormark. And I don't want to get into specifics on it, but the job he was offered at the NFL is a pretty good job. I mean, he chose to stay. I think Brett Yormark's not looking for an exit. Yeah, I think he's looking for autonomy and the ability to operate this conference without guys like Cody Campbell throwing a wrench into the spokes every single chance he gets. Because that's what it feels like Cody Campbell's doing. I feel like Cody Campbell is like, oh, I could make some noise over that. Let me go throw a wrench into that wheel.
Attention seeking. Agreed.
I just think guys like Cody Campbell want it all. And once they have it all, they want more. And I think Cody Campbell wants to be in control of this conference so that he can control what happens to Texas Tech. And I think Cody Campbell wants to be a big deal and wants to be a high-profile guy and look at me and I have all this money. Here's a gallon of oil for you, or here's a barrel of oil for you. Here's some jet fuel for you. I'm not playing on Friday night. I want the Smash Capital deal. Here's a new, well digging drill bit for you. Like he wants to, I've seen Landman. I know how these guys operate. What character in Landman is Cody Campbell?
Cody Campbell is the cartel boss.
That's what I was going to say. He's the disruptor.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
right.
And it just is. I can't help but focus on the hypocrisy of the whole thing. The hypocrisy of the Big 12, pushing this narrative for the last 2 seasons before Cody Campbell was even in existence of we want more national exposure. We're growing. We're pushing the envelope. We are the best basketball conference in America. We're the second best football conference by what they say, like by what Brett was pushing. And now Fox is with you on that and is giving you an exclusive window, albeit Tech in Houston. I get it. It's Houston. Houston's improved. You might want to look at what they did last year. They're not as ass as everyone thinks they are. They are, I'm not saying they're CFP worthy, but they are good enough to give you a game. Like you need to appreciate the opportunity you have, man. Like I can't, I said this over and over again with the Pac-12. I mean, just repeatedly. Go and watch it. It's on the channel. How many times did I say the old white hairs on the board of the old Pac-12, the Cossays of the world, the people that were sitting here evaluating? Oh, we're too good for this. We need a better deal. We shouldn't have to play on Friday night. Like, we shouldn't have to do this. Like, gosh, what a burden. You can be that guy, but I'm just telling you that's not going to get you anywhere. Like, why not say, hey, we're Tech. We just won the conference. Let's go do it again, and let's not complain. Now, that's right, because you're an attention seeker. You've not been here before, and you don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's just really, it's unfortunate. I think Cody Campbell has the opportunity to do a lot of good, and he's choosing to I think he's choosing to stir the pot, right? Hard enough to keep the Big 12 going after losing Texas, Oklahoma, ATM machines. We don't have ATM machines in the stadiums anymore. I was unaware of that. Yeah, I was unaware of that. Missouri and they don't have Missouri. What and Nebraska. But then add in the infighting. Not a good look at all. I agree. You lose Texas, Oklahoma, A&M, Nebraska, Missouri. Well, how much stronger would this conference be with all those teams here? I mean, it's significantly better. Significantly.
Dude, I can't, like, I'm sitting here thinking about this. Like, do you understand the level of arrogance it takes to say that, hey, we won the conference for the first time in how long? I don't even know. Is that the first time they've won the Big 12? Have they won? They must have won the Big 12 before. I'd have to look. But hey, we won the Big 12 for the first time in how long? And
did they win the Big 12 when Buddy was locking dude in Connex boxes?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying, like, we should look.
Don't think so.
Like, I'd genuinely have to look. I don't know, but it's been long enough to where I couldn't tell you, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh well, yeah, man, we run this town. The Big 12 runs through Lubbock. No, dude, you don't seem to understand. 1 year of success does not mean that it runs through Lubbock, brother. Like, just like the Big 10 doesn't run through Indiana. Like, this is not like I can't believe that Cody thinks that this is okay, that somehow this is like appropriate. And I would also second the idea that if you got issues, that's cool, dude. But airing your trash on Twitter is not a good look for you personally. It never has been and never will be. Yet here we are. So I don't know, man. There's so many reasons not to like what Cody Campbell's doing in this conference right now. Like, so many.
Yeah, that was their first Big 12 championship. That was their first one.
Yeah, so you'd have thought they won like 20 of them or something, and that it had just been, them running the thing for like 2 decades.
Well, DeWitt Weaver was an amazing coach. Hard to believe he never won the Big 12.
Man, dude, wow, bro.
The Big 12. We want more national exposure. Fox, okay, Friday night. Tech fan, no, not then. Fox, oh, for F's sake.
Like, right? Like, couldn't agree more, dude. Couldn't agree more, Tom. 100%.
Vrabel ensured the Strait of Rossini was open.
Facts.
The problem isn't Campbell having issues with Friday Night Football. The problem is Campbell arguing the point on Twitter.
Yes,
I would agree.
Yes.
I'm sure if the Big 12 don't want Yormark, the ACC would love to have him with his focus on basketball and East Coast. I don't necessarily believe that they don't want. I don't think it's that they don't want Brett Yormark. I think it's that Cody Campbell doesn't want to play nice in the sandbox. That's truly my belief, is that Cody Campbell wants to make all the decisions. He believes he's got the money and that buys him power. And that's just not how the game is played. That is not at all how the game is played. And nor should it be played that way. I'm telling you, if the Big 12 continues to battle stuff like this, they will pay a heavy price, because the Big 12 is already behind the 8 ball. When you look at opportunity and you look at their teams, and whether that be somebody like a BYU or, I mean, we can go back through time and you look at the teams that have gotten into the college football playoff. You look at the teams who have not. You look at BYU and everything that they've had to do. You look at Utah. You look at, again, Texas Tech being disappointing, or Baylor, TCU. Like, we look at all these schools that I talk about on a regular basis being disappointing. And the facts are that Miami doesn't even win the conference championship, and they play for a national championship. And you can't even get multiple teams in. That's the reality of where the Big 12 is.
Yes.
You have to do it better. And right now you're divided, so you're not going to be able to. Well, I don't know about all that. I don't know if I would say the ACC looks stable. If the Big 12 doesn't want him, I would love to see him come to the Big 10. Man, can you imagine?
Again,
Brett Yormark instead of Tony Petitti?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that the Big 12 doesn't want him, but I think that it's more of a thing where it's like, Brett, you can't tell me that Brett doesn't take it personally on some level that Cody's doing this, dude. I mean, he has to. He has to. Isn't this how our country works now? We the guys with all the money threaten and yell and bloviate, and then people bend the knee. That kind of feels like what we're doing in this conference right now. I mean, if you're Cody Campbell, what other reason would you have to go nuclear on Twitter against Brett Yormark, who's done nothing but stellar work for the conference?
Why would you do that? What point? What sense? Where's the logic in that? Oh, there isn't.
Yeah,
Because you don't have to be
know
logical.
what his agenda is.
You don't have to be logical because you have what you believe is the hammer because you have all the money. Like in just knowing people in the TV industry, I don't believe that this will hurt the Big 12 and Fox's relationship. I think Texas Tech and Houston are going to play on Friday night because that's what the contract says. And there's nothing Cody Campbell can do about that.
Yeah.
Right? It's a huge game. It is a big game. I hope Houston shows up. No doubt Yormark has better judgment than Campbell. Depends on who you ask, I guess, right? Right? The big winning championships in football and basketball, unless they are doing it in spite of Phillips. Well, yeah. I mean, back-to-back national championships in football, and now you've got Michigan and UCLA. It's pretty impressive. Texas Tech starting to act like UT Austin, which is wild. Okay. I like the comparison. I do. Jeremiah Champion, I was just thinking the same thing. Tech trying to act like Texas, but has no real track record to back them up.
Winning matters.
Yeah. And you're not playing Ohio State. Texas is. Big difference. You know what I mean? I do not know, but I think it is fair to say that they have not been as relevant since the Pirate was running Tech football. You mean since the Pirate was locking Buddy in the Connex box? Can you believe Mike Leach? Hey, man, go get that left-handed rake out of the Connex box. They literally, allegedly put a kid in the Connex box.
Oh.
Yeah, the Connex box is a great tool for teaching youngsters some lessons, no doubt.
How would you know?
No, that goes down in baseball all the time, dude.
Did you ever get locked in the Connex box, Jake?
I didn't. Not that I remember.
Did you ever have people go?
Yes, I did.
Into the Connex box to get the left-handed rake?
Yes, one time and only one time, and it was glorious. It was incredible.
What did you do?
We had a freshman on my high school baseball team who was new to the program, left-hander, sent his ass into the Connex box to get the bucket of curveballs. And unfortunately for him, that endeavor took him about 25 minutes instead of 3 minutes. And part of that was he couldn't get out of the Connex box once he went in. And, that was his life was forever changed. I had a hand in locking him in there. I guided him into the box. Someone else actually locked the lock.
Oh, so you're innocent in the whole thing.
Yeah. Just call me Diana. Exactly.
The bucket of curveballs.
Yeah.
And he fell for that.
He did. Yes.
What an idiot. What a simp. You also, though, were involved in locker room boxing,
Yeah, I was. Yep. That's what happens.
Yep. Yes, Cody thinks he is okay, as in Oklahoma. He's not. Well, Cody Campbell fits the term drunk with power. I would agree with that.
But what power does he have? This is my point. This is the argument that I would make. What tangible, credible power does he really have? Like, just because you know the president doesn't mean that you can affect change in your conference.
Cody Campbell saved college football.
Please. Okay. Right. Like,
you know
what I mean? Like, that's the crazy thing, man. Like, it's these guys. And again, I wish that we could delve more into it. We can't. But just the world happenings are a perfect mirror of what I feel like Cody Campbell is doing in this conference. You are creating problems where problems don't exist.
Correct.
You are sowing doubt. I would go as far as to say that you are intentionally creating chaos to do what? I don't know. And that, again, to me, is still the big question here. What's the motivation? What are you trying to do? Like, are you trying to get Tech out of the conference? Are you trying to be the commissioner of the conference? What are you trying to do? That's what I don't understand.
But this pooling of media rights thing, like again yesterday, Cody Campbell retweeting Ross Dellinger, and the story about how senators were having phone calls about revenue disparity, and that who was it? Eric Schmidt and Maria Cantwell had phone calls with college presidents about the revenue disparity on the heels of their bill to open up the Sports Broadcasting Act to allow conferences and teams to pool their media rights. And I'm telling you, that's a huge mistake. It's a huge mistake. And I understand that, I would tell you, the Big 12 should not be in favor of pooling media rights.
No.
And yet every president from the Big 12, or I believe every, if not every, most presidents in the Big 12 were on that call yesterday. And I just think it's a huge mistake. You don't need to pool media rights to make more money. This is not rocket science.
Nope.
But yet, what are you getting? You're getting most, if not all, of the presidents in the Big 12. I think Ross said half of the ACC was on the call. Like, until the presidents in the Big 12 and the ACC stop chasing the dollar signs. And I know you need to make more money. You don't make more money by chasing more money. You make more money by making better, more sound business decisions, which is not, in my opinion, what Cody Campbell's doing. It's not what he's doing. Pooling media rights is a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea. And I'm just telling you, and I think I'm the only one reporting this, and I've reported it exclusively. The Big Ten and the SEC are not in any way, shape, or form supportive of pooling media rights. Greg Sankey is in no way supportive of pooling media rights, nor should he be. And I just think that the Senate, the issue with the Senate wants to make it where everybody's making money and education is front and center. That's not what makes money in college football. But money, everybody's got to have equal opportunity. They don't. Everybody has equal opportunity. The problem is you have scumbags in this league like Baylor and Oak State who make terrible decisions routinely.
Facts.
So they lose games, and then they blame it on pooling media rights. Why? Why would you do that? And I'm just telling you, you wouldn't. You wouldn't do that. So I think and essentially what pooling of media rights means, because I see some people asking, when I say pooling media rights, whether there are 140 teams in FBS, you all would have the exact same TV deal. Why would you do that? Oh, because Monty, everybody gets a participation medal. They don't. No, they don't. We're all fucking adults. And what we need to do is our jobs. Hire better people. Foster an environment where competition and winning is the bar. And yet, again, people like Oklahoma State, people like Baylor, TCU, K-State, all of these dregs of this league don't do that. They want a handout. Give me the money, Monty. What are you going to do with that money? You're going to make more really bad decisions. That's what you're going to do. And who's going to pay for that? BYU, Texas Tech. You're just handing bad money to people who routinely create more bad money. And it's a mistake.
Yep.
It's a mistake. Why do you think the SEC and the Big Ten don't want anything to do with that? Why would they divide their pots more than they have to? And and this is the ultimate irony. Socialism's bad, Monty. What is pooling your media rights?
Socialism.
Cody Campbell loves the idea because what's it do? Just gives Texas Tech more money, which is all guys like Cody Campbell care about because they believe that money buys influence and power. Texas Tech has accomplished nothing in football or basketball. Nothing. We have this belief, and I just continue to say this. We have this belief that Texas Tech is the gold standard. We have this belief that Texas Tech is what everybody should be aspiring to. No. Sorry. They're not. They're not. And if if I said, what's the gold standard in program building in the Big 12, it'd be BYU. Because BYU went from the Mountain West. Do you understand how bad? When BYU and Utah were in the Mountain West, do you understand how bad that league was business-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, terrible commissioner. The Mountain Network TV channel deal nonsense. Like, that was a bad conference. BYU, it was so bad, BYU left that conference, went independent and thrived to the point where they got an invite at the end of the day to the Big 12 and now have continued to thrive. BYU should be penalized because Oklahoma State is a terrible organization? No, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. We've got to stop enabling shitty administrators to continue to be shitty administrators. We're enabling them. If you want to pool media rights because it's an easy button.
Yep.
And listen, I'll say it as a Notre Dame supporter. I want nothing to do with pooling media rights. Notre Dame doesn't need your help. Notre Dame's not looking for a handout. So why are we trying to do this? I'll never understand it.
And that's why it's not going to get done. But that's my point. He knows it's not going to get done, yet he's still pushing it. So
I think the only way, and I was talking to somebody about this TV deal yesterday, the only way that the pooling of media rights or the Sports Broadcasting Act gets opened up and reformed is if it's an equal payout for all 100 and I think the exact number in FBS is 138?
Something like that.
If every FBS team gets the same amount of money in a pooled media rights scenario, the Sports Broadcasting Act will get opened up. But you're going to have to create rules and regs that pay everybody the same. And if I'm the SEC and the Big Ten, I want nothing to do with that. If I'm Notre Dame, I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
This is, again, my biggest argument against Smash Capital. You're handing people who already have a pile of their own money burning, it's on fire. Like, look at the money you just paid Sonny Dykes at TCU. And maybe this is a really good example. Maybe it's not. I think it is. Is Sonny Dykes an elite coach?
No.
Has Sonny Dykes won at TCU?
No.
Not really.
What do they have in common? Just since we're using this, one season.
Has he recruited well? Has he developed well? Has he consistently won big games? No. He's living on one season from 2022. And he has been straight mediocre since. Now, I saw in the comments section, it's not like we're Oak State. Is that really the bar you want to use?
Apparently.
So what you're saying is, and look at Baylor. Look at Baylor. Okay. We're going to fire our athletic director because he put his hands on an athlete and their family. We're going to not fire the football coach who he's ass, Dave Aranda. Terrible. Mm-hmm. He's routinely fired coordinators. It's all their fault, not my fault. Has had prodigious talent at quarterback, hasn't been able to leverage it. Admits he wasn't calling plays on defense and wasn't really trying to spend too much time on defense. You didn't fire him because you didn't want to pay to fire him and then pay to do a national search and then pay a new coach. But I'm supposed to give you money and believe that you'll use it effectively. If you hand Baylor pooled media rights money, don't hand it to them. Just put it in the fire in Waco because that's all they're going to do with it. They're just going to burn it. And we'll just keep handing them fuel for their fire. That's what Cody Campbell wants. Socialism. What socialism is bad? Not if it's pooled media rights, Marty. Okay, now I understand. Now I get it.
Pay that man his money.
I guess I don't.
Yeah. It's the hypocrisy is just oozing out of this conference right now.
The pooled media rights thing is an absolute disaster, in my opinion. It does not. The biggest issue for me is, does it foster competition?
No, of course not. And we had that conversation about unequal revenue sharing in the performance-based unequal revenue sharing in the conference. And I don't really feel like that's taken off. And, you just have this dynamic where, again, there's what do we say all the time about this conference? There's not a dominant brand. So
nope.
Tech wins one season and all of a sudden they think they run everything and they want to control everything. And that's the precise problem, and that's why, Utah fan getting all pissy with me when I said, hey, you guys missed a real opportunity. You definitely have fumbled the Big 12 situation about as bad as it could be. And I understand that there's a lot out of your control with that as far as injuries and what all had happened. I think we all agree on that, but it doesn't change the fact that the not seizing the opportunity is what took place. So, and Mark Harlan's fall from grace has been a steep one. And I think
it should be studied.
Yeah, it should be studied, dude. and I think that, again, we're seeing trends now in the Big 12. Think about it, right? What did Mark Harlan do that he shouldn't have done? Well, he went on Twitter and complained about a kid and, did some things that he shouldn't have done. What is Cody Campbell doing? The exact same thing. Only he's not talking about a kid. He's talking about money and TV partners and all the things you shouldn't be talking about. And that's what's troubling, dude.
Rob Wright is entering the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's a big loss for BYU basketball. AJ and Rob Wright both gone.
Yeah, time to reset the team, Kevin.
Ooh. Matthew, hello. Hey, how have you guys been? What do you think of my heels getting Mike Malone? I like it. Talk about that in a minute. Kenneth Maynor. Baylor is dead weight in the Big 12. Swap them with Tulane, Dude, you're not even joking. $400 million per team per year for each NFL team. Sure, there are less teams, but the NFL kills ratings compared to NCAA. You can't compare, and I see people do this all the time. You cannot compare the NFL pooling media rights to 140 teams in college football pooling media rights. You're not getting the billions and billions and billions of dollars. Look at the I look at the value of the NFL, and I don't remember what they're going to ask for. The value of NFL media rights deal. It is obscene.
Yeah, it's insulting almost.
$110 billion through 2033. $10 billion a year. And the new deal, I believe the new deal would have to be, if you're getting 10 billion now, my guess is it'd be 15, 16 billion. Not 20. You're not doubling, but it'd be 15 billion, I bet. College football ain't getting 15 billion. And when you're splitting 15 billion, or you're talking about, because what is it? NBC, CBS, Fox, obviously, ESPN and ABC. Netflix, streamer, Amazon Prime, Thursday Night Football. Prime. Right? That's what you're talking about. Yeah. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But, college football's never getting anywhere near that. I mean, and again, I'm just going to keep going back to what I keep saying. You need a new entity. Call it a super league. Call it what you want. You need a new entity and you need collective bargaining. That's the only way you fix this. That's it. It's the only way you fix all these problems in college sports.
Yes.
Period. I think pooled media rights can work. Don't make payouts equal, just payouts based on performance. Nobody's going to agree to that. Why would you pool your media rights? If you're going to make it a performance-based, merit-based payment system, why would you agree to pool media rights? The only reason you pool media rights is so that there's a level financial playing field, which is not what you want in college sports. It's not what you want. There is no logic that says the ACC and the Big 12 should make what the SEC makes.
Yeah, do you guys think that everybody just wants to play nice in the sandbox? Like, do you think that everybody is just like, oh yeah, we want everybody to make the same money and we want everyone to have the same things, and we're the SEC, we play the hardest schedules in college football, and people want us to play 9 conference games, but yeah, everybody else should make the same money we do. Sorry, dude, that's not how the SEC feels. That's not like the pooling of media rights thing is a pipe dream, dude. That's not going to happen, and it's just not. I just couldn't agree more that you're doing a handout. You're just, hey, here you go. Here's a handout. Hey, you get one, you get one, you get one, you get one. Right? Like that's all this is. And again, I still question the motivation, the true motivation. What like nefarious or scheming thing is Cody getting after here? Because I don't buy that it's just he wants more money and it's all about tech. Sorry, dude. I've been around the block enough, right? Like I've seen billionaires do enough terrible things to know that they're never doing it for just the betterment of people. Like, come on, dude.
I don't think that's true.
Like I am not just gonna sit here and be like, oh man, Cody, dude, bless his heart, man. Monty, he's from Lubbock and he's an oil man, but he's just trying to help his constituents at Texas Tech. That's all this is.
He's got a big heart.
A big heart. Bless his heart. Get him a steak and a beer, and we'll take him to Lubbock and we'll watch some football. No, dude. Sorry. No. Sorry. Actually, no, I don't believe that. I know you guys are going to find that hard to believe. I don't believe that. So, I'm still waiting for what the actual motivation is here.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, we could beat it into the ground. I just think it's a mistake. I think it's a huge mistake, which clearly the real awkward guy made 18 months ago when he became a member of the Monty Show. When are we getting Monty pool picks with Vrabel? See, I like that you guys are into this story.
How could you not be into this story, dude?
Yeah. Listen, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Big Nose Kate and Mike Vrabel, I'm here for it.
Big Nose Kate.
Do you know where that's from?
No.
God.
No.
You don't know where that's from?
Nope.
You ever seen Tombstone?
No.
No. Don't. No. Val Kilmer? No. Doesn't sound familiar. Doesn't ring a bell. Doc Holliday? No. Doesn't ring a bell. Sorry. I'm your hucklebearer, but doesn't ring a bell.
I actually think I have seen that movie, but I just don't know the reference. I haven't seen it enough, clearly. So, my bad.
I think I don't want pictures with Vrabel. I want pictures with Diana. Dude, she is a crispy biscuit. I mean, good night. I'm here for it. If we maybe we need to do a daily Diana and just try to keep the situation up to date.
I'm sorry. Did you just roll out a daily Diana?
No, but I'd like to roll out a daily Diana.
You have a deal.
You know, bro, come on. This is the damning picture. I'm going to continue to tell you. This is the damning picture.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's the one that's like, yeah, we're going to smash in like 15 minutes for 15 minutes. You know, they do collective bargaining in a way, but the conference is doing deals for several teams called conferences. If everyone really wanted to, every team could. Well, no. How do I explain this? So the Pac-12.
I personally believe
Let's
Pac-12
pool media rights so that the Pac-12 can still be in existence. How bad were the decisions in the Pac-12? How much money did they just light on fire in the Pac-12? Are the Pac-12 victims? Yeah, of their own really bad decision making. Nobody torched the Pac-12. They did it to themselves. They quite literally failed under the weight of a bunch of really bad business decisions for years. And we're just supposed to, again, hand out welfare to the Pac-12 so that they can continue to make shitty decisions.
Yeah.
That's what the argument, if you believe in pooled media rights, that's the argument you're making.
Yes.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You need collective bargaining so you can control your costs. You need a new entity so you stop getting sued. And you need to hold shitty presidents accountable for their shitty decisions.
Facts.
That's how you fix this.
Oh, but money, pooled media rights. Everyone gets the same amount of money. It doesn't matter what you do on the field. Like, come on.
Come on. We've got to stop with this. And somebody said it in the Jimmy, I think, said with recency bias. Why does Cody Campbell have influence? He's got money. He knows how to get that Texas tea out of the ground. Boy.
Texas.
Right? That's why Cody Campbell's got money. Cody Campbell hasn't won anything. Cody Campbell's not some high-level operator. Why does Donnie like Cody Campbell? Well, you know what I'm going to say. Well, because they're both billionaires, allegedly. They're both billionaires. Rich guys like rich guys. You think rich guys like hanging out with poor guys when they have to buy dinner every night? No, they don't. They don't. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, can we, Jake, is this the proper time to hate to describe my hate for Oregon?
Yeah, sure, dude. Play the clip. Let's hear you triple down on why Dan Lanning sucks and his staff is garbage and they're terrible. Sure. Let's hear it.
Am I wrong?
I think you know that we disagree about Oregon.
Okay, well, tell me your position on Oregon.
I think that Oregon is a staple in the CFP, and they are they haven't figured out how to win the big game yet under Dan Lanning. That's obviously the challenge right now. But I think that certainly if you look at the Big Ten and you look at the group of schools in the bigger picture of the CFP, Oregon's right in the middle of that. I think you've got in the Big Ten in college football, I think you've got Ohio State, obviously, Indiana now, Michigan, I would think under Witt, and Oregon. That are the four schools that are going to push you forward in college football. You don't know. It's kind of hard to say what you have with Penn State. I don't think you're not confident in Washington right now. You're still waiting to see if Jed can get something out of that. And other than that, there's not really another power after that. So I think for the Big Ten, Oregon is that school that hasn't shown the ability to win a national championship yet, but certainly are that school that have shown the ability to make you money through the CFP. And
so you're going to the CFP twice. And, what did they lose to?
Indiana.
Ohio State 2 years ago? They beat James Madison and the best team in the history of college football, Texas Tech.
Ask Cody Campbell, he'll tell you.
They got boat raced by Indiana. But listen, boy, you want to play at Oregon? I need to know something.
Like I ask them a question like this all the time. Hey, do you like chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? Okay, the minute a kid pauses, I don't really want that kid, right? Because you need to have some type of conviction, right, wrong, or indifferent. Okay, so whether you like chocolate or you like vanilla, I don't really care. But if you sit there and say, coach, I don't know. Is it melted? Is it not? What's the brand? So on and so forth. Like, what is this kid going to do on third down in front of 110,000? He's probably going to think about it more than he should. He's not going to have conviction, right? So it's, like I just said, long-winded, I understand, but it's the mental aspect is really what we're after.
Koa Ka'ai, the quarterback coach at Oregon. So, I'm a simp, right? Put my ass in the Connex box. I know I'm not real smart, not, the sharpest tool in the Connex box. I'm not the one smashing Diana Rossini.
Allegedly.
Supposedly. But you're basing who your quarterbacks are on their preference for vanilla or chocolate ice cream and how quickly they can pull that answer out the rectum. And if they hesitate, you can go to Corvallis. Okay. Makes perfect sense to me. And if you're not decisive about your ice cream, I just don't know. You can't pull strawberry swirl right off the top of your head. Fuck out of here. Can't have you. You can't be listen. If you don't say Neapolitan right now, I'm going to ask you a really important question here, okay? We like you, your tape in high school, amazing, right? The job you did getting that bucket of curveballs out of the Connex box down there, amazing. But I got to know, and this is a really important question, kid. Your future, I don't want to put too much pressure on you with this question. The entirety of your family lineage and tree is on the line here, okay?
Family.
What's your favorite ice cream? Fuck off. You hesitated. Get out. Get out. You didn't say Neapolitan. Get out. That's how we're picking quarterbacks.
Like I ask them a question like this all the time. Hey, do you like chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? Okay, the minute a kid pauses, I don't really want that kid, right? Because you need to have some type of conviction, right, wrong, or indifferent.
And we're basing his conviction on the flavor of ice cream he picks. And there's actually a video of them doing this.
I personally believe
this is how, come on, dude. This is how, play the drop. This is, come on, dude.
Are you raising your voice at me?
This is how Oregon picks their quarterbacks.
I personally believe
Chocolate, coach. I personally believe in chocolate, coach. Now, I'm not Diana Rossini, who clearly likes vanilla, but she's more of a popsicle fan. I'm a soft serve guy. We're picking our quarterbacks based on their proclivity to vanilla or chocolate. And God forbid he says pistachio. Tampering. This is why I hate Oregon. This is why I hope Oregon never wins another football game. Is there any way that you can defend this?
Well, yeah, the obvious.
the Iraq.
The obvious of the idea that everyone's like, oh, well, this is about ice cream. This has nothing to do with ice cream. This is about the fact.
Wait, can you hang on? You're about to drop brilliance. Let me sit up, fix the vest. Okay. All right, go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, it's not about ice cream, dude. The Buddy's point, who none of us have ever heard of, is that he doesn't want kids who are indifferent. He wants kids that are decisive, wrong or right, because then he can coach that.
Shut up. You're so ridiculous to defend. Well, listen, look, I was talking to little Stevie, and
anything to say, quite frankly, fuck you.
He's a Sherbert guy. What am I supposed to do? If my quarterback is a Sherbert guy, we're just not going to win a lot of games. Okay? If we're going to do Sherbert, let's just not play football. Let's go play flag football. Pop Warner, fine.
Come on, dude.
We're not coaching Little League, buddy.
We're not doing push-ups, Monty.
Yeah.
I want chocolate or vanilla. We are not doing Neapolitan, boy.
Like, I ask him a question like this all the time. Hey, do you like chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? Okay, the minute a kid pauses, I don't really want that kid, right? Because you need to have some type of conviction, right, wrong, or indifferent. Okay, so whether you like chocolate or you like vanilla, I don't really care. But if you sit there and say, coach, I don't know. Is it melted? Is it not? What's the brand? So on and so forth. Like, what is this kid going to do on third night?
Look, and
always have to be negative.
It's got to be Bluebell ice cream, coach. No, you're out. Get out. Get out. 31 flavor? No.
Pack this thing up. We're out of here.
If we're not doing the TCBY, we're not playing Oregon football. We don't do Cold Stone here. You want Cold Stone? You walk your ass up to Corvallis.
You can drive your ass back to Phoenix.
Do you see the lunacy in picking quarterbacks on chocolate or vanilla?
Well, yeah, if that's what was happening, but that's not what's happening.
Look, Monty, this is a deeper, different way of thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Today's show is about getting deeper, as we saw with Bravesgate.
Yeah,
and that's what this is.
And Diana, they got deeper with the popsicles.
What constitutes a promise?
I'm more of just a pint in the freezer kind of guy. Ben and Jerry's and shit, cherry and stuff. This is so stupid. I hope Oregon football never wins another game.
Yeah. So like when I don't, I'm not even like an Oregon fan.
Yes,
right?
you are.
But
Shut up.
But because,
yes, you are.
But because
yes, you are.
Because I reside in Eugene currently, everyone's like, oh, well, you're an Oregon fan.
Just because I can see him building the IPF down the street doesn't mean I'm an Oregon fan.
Yeah, Tools, nice green vest you got on today, man. That's really a nice color. You know what I mean? So, you're an Oregon fan, and that's just what it is. I'm not an Oregon fan, and this isn't about ice cream.
Do you own Oregon gear?
No, I don't. I personally don't. It's not in my name, brother. It's not mine.
You don't have an Oregon hat.
I have an Oregon hat. Yeah,
now the truth
an
comes
Oregon
out.
Hat.
Now they're quack, bitches. Quack,
I was gifted.
Quack.
I was bequeathed an Oregon hat. Okay. That doesn't mean that I bought one.
You're an idiot.
Okay,
but I know I like chocolate ice cream. Call me dumb, but dude, decisiveness.
You know, I mean, this isn't dumber than like other things that coaches have said. This is just different. You know,
You're a fraud.
That's all. Just different.
Yeah, different way of doing things. That's why we lose to Texas Tech. Oh wait. Anyway, it's fine. I mean, yeah, tutti frutti. You know, it is what it is. Welcome to the nightmare. Heaven forbid one of them choose Neapolitan. Dude would get thrown off the team real quick. Real quick.
Yeah.
You know, it's just stupid. I understand. This is cockneck guy. Well, they forgot we were seeds. Right? That's what this is.
Better is the key, man. That needs to be our word in here, better. We're not worried about just being the best. We got to get better every day. All right? So a better you makes a better CU. All right? A better you makes a better CU. And don't forget about this every day you work out. They thought they buried us, but they didn't know we were seeds. You got me? So remember that every day.
Yeah, I mean, take my seed, boy. Do you understand he was a legendary high school football coach and he went to be the special teams coach or
something like that? I don't remember. No, linebackers coach, I think.
The groundskeeper at Folsom Field. Right? I mean, it's just.
We did what we did.
Why do football coaches have to do this stuff?
You're not going to play the other guy?
Cockneck? I just played Cockneck.
No, Gator Boy.
Oh, God.
You got to earn it. You got to earn the logo, man. Like, we ain't earned it yet. We ain't earned a damn thing. Like, all we've got is our name. We're going to put our freaking name on every day. All right? And so to wear the Florida Gator logo, to wear the Gators across your helmet and script, or to wear the Gator head, man, you got to earn that.
He's a brilliant guy.
Yeah.
I just want to punch him in the face. Oh, man, Monty, how could you say that? You want him to dap you up, don't you?
Are you good?
And you think the Rossini-Vrabel thing's awkward? Look at how deep those arms are around this kid.
Not taking Vrabel's dong, okay?
Oh, he might as well be.
Are you good?
It's a full-on awkward dude.
He dapped him up, dude.
You're not allowed to do this. Is school zone. This is school zone, Sumrall. Look how far he puts his hands around this kid.
Are you good?
That is all. He's got that thing wrapped up. And then he physically assaults him.
Are you good? Good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have to ask. I agree with Mike Smith here, dude. We're sitting here roasting Oregon, buddy. You know, what about Cignetti and Google? I mean, does he ask his players like, hey, what's your preferred search engine? And if there's any hesitation, he's out of the team?
No.
I mean, if you rolled up
Cignetti is a serial killer. Cignetti is a dude. Cignetti's not the guy that you want to wake up to in the middle of the night with him like at the end of your bed.
Google me.
I don't want anything. Kirk Cignetti is a psycho. I don't know. The answer is I want nothing. Him and like Mick Cronin losing his mind in that tunnel on that guy. Are you raising your voice at me? Everybody's they're all watching you. Like you're crazy.
Out in the student section chanting Booker's name.
I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section.
I just meant the overall the way that you.
I would like to give you a kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
Did you like
you should take it.
The preparation of the...
You really think I care about the other team?
No, I don't think you care about the other
team. Are you raising your voice at me?
No, I'm just...
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Come on, dude.
I'm not raising
Come on, yes, you are. Everybody's standing there listening. Are you raising your voice
at me?
Everybody, this is on camera. They can hear you. I answered the question. I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section. I coach UCLA. I don't care about Michigan State students. I mean, who cares?
Who cares?
I could give a rat's ass about the student section.
Like, I need Mick Cronin in my life. The more Mick Cronin we get, the better.
It's no secret that you and Coach Hurley have kind of caught heat from the media about kind of sideline
What are you
demeanor.
talking about?
Sideline demeanor, working officials.
Have you given me heat?
I haven't. Not
So that's why
necessarily.
you're the only guy to pay attention to.
Okay. Well,
nobody else even comes.
National media. National media.
I mean, I respect you. Come to the games, so I respect you. You know, at least you're there. I mean, people that aren't there.
I know you don't care about it, but do you think it's fair that you have?
It's ridiculous. Everybody needs to get a life, bro.
It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, his
It's so
ability
good.
to be like, what are you talking about, dude?
Can you imagine him asking a kid, okay, man, no, come on, dude, chocolate or vanilla? Can you imagine Cronin asking that question? No. And this is why I hate Oregon. I just feel better knowing that Oregon isn't ever going to win.
So wait, Mick
anything.
gets a free pass for winning absolutely nothing, but Oregon doesn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. No, but yeah. It just feels better. That's all. Do we have to use this bad language? Can't we say rodents rear? You know, waking up and seeing Serial Smiler looking at you. Instant fight or flight,
dude. Imagine bro is sitting at the end of your bed with the spotlight on his face and you get that smile. Nah, yeah, I'm gonna head out, dude. I'm nope, not interested, bro. Nope.
Or you wake up and see this at the end of your bed.
I mean, at least this is workable. You're not dying right here, right? Like your life isn't over. You just have brought yourself to a new low.
Or this. You know, it's fine. My point is, no. Google me, sign Jake in his Oregon Ducks hat. Hey, do you have any Oregon gear? No. You have an Oregon hat? Yeah. So, well, I mean, who doesn't? Right?
I don't know. I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
Yeah. Did Lanning lend you the hat so that you could sneak out the back door of his place and not be recognized?
Question.
Go Gators. Summerall's going to do a great job there, and I'm going to laugh every time he body blocks a recruit down the tunnel in a basketball game.
Out of here.
Alex, serious question.
Serious?
Probably not. You serious? Don't you? I have an aunt who's, I'll be like, dude, I just took a huge dump. Serious? No, I made that up. I made it up. I like ice cream more than the next guy, but what does ice cream have to do with how good a quarterback
Dude,
is?
you're missing the point, dude.
Alex?
It's not about the ice cream.
Alex,
Good Lord.
This is, you simps, you really need to get on board with the fact. Yeah, I'm just trying to screen a guy for his mentality. And we don't want no chocolate bros over here. Right? Neapolitan all day, man. If you can't appreciate a little strawberry between them white and chocolates, did you know? That's how they do it. Yeah, me too. Scoop across. As a kid, when I was becoming Fat Monty, and my mom would buy a gallon of Neapolitan, I'd eat them individually. Chocolate, vanilla, and then you eat the strawberry. But now that I'm an adult, right, I just scoop across it.
You take you a deuce. You don't sit there and look at it. You flush it and move on.
That's what I'm saying. Man, when is the last time we had like a milkshake or ice cream?
I just can't do it anymore, dude. It's so heavy.
My wife loves ice cream, and we haven't done it recently. We went for an Italian dinner the other night, and she got red velvet cake for us to split for dessert.
So good.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
Rigatoni bolognese with these little meatball things. Oh.
Fucking A.
Anyway, I just wanted to share my hate of Holly Rowe's hand. I'll be back in 3.5 minutes. But I just wanted to share with you guys that. Can we talk about crazy Fernando Mendoza for a minute? Now, you guys know I love the NFL draft. Love the NFL draft. Am I the only one who finds it weird and it would be a red flag to me? Fernando Mendoza is not going to the NFL draft. You're the number one pick. We all know it.
Mm-hmm.
And Fernando Mendoza is not going to the NFL draft.
Yes, he'd like to spend the time with his family.
Right, but you're the number one pick in the NFL draft. Instead, he's going to stay in South Florida with where's the picture? Aunt Jenny is going to comfort
family.
You're telling me this wouldn't be a red flag for you?
No, it wouldn't be. For me, I look at it and I say, you just said it, right? We all know you're the number one pick. We're all in agreement on that. It's not surprising. And if he elects to be with his family, cool, man. Knock yourself out. I also think that the Kirk Cousins dynamic plays a role in it, right? You're not going in there. Yeah, because you're not going to go in there. You're not. It's pretty clear based on what if you looked at the interviews that Kirk has done the last couple of days, that he expects to start Kirk Cousins. That it's not just he's going to sit behind and mentor.
As he should. Clint Kubiak has said he doesn't want a rookie quarterback starting for him.
Yeah, so it's very clear what the plan is. You brought Cousins in. Fernando's going to be the number one pick. You're going to sit him behind Kirk Cousins, which I love this. I think the Raiders are doing this exactly right. So I have no problem. It's all laid out. There's no questions. He's going to be the number one pick. He's going to come in and sit behind Kirk Cousins. And if he wants to miss the opportunity to walk the stage and be with his family, that's his prerogative. I just don't have that big of an issue with it. I would rather, and I'd even go as far as to say I'd rather have a quarterback that prioritizes family time like that over the spotlight of the draft versus the guy that is just all about the draft and and the spotlight and all that. So
yeah, I
don't
think it's
mind
a huge mistake. I think this lacks understanding of who you are and where you are. It lacks the understanding of just the responsibility that comes with being the number one pick in the NFL draft and the responsibility that is being a quarterback in the NFL. You don't prioritize the brand, the Raiders, the NFL. When you're the number one pick in the draft, you have to be all in. And Fernando Mendoza is not. I'm telling you. He's soft. As simple as that. Fernando Mendoza has all the physical tools. He is soft mentally. I don't believe that Fernando Mendoza, I would not draft Fernando Mendoza. Ty Simpson's a better quarterback. And I know I get my ass kicked every time I say that, even a little bit. Fernando Mendoza is soft. I think this is a big, big deal that he's not going to the draft. I think it's a huge problem. So, I guess we agree to disagree, right? But,
yeah, I mean, it's just a philosophy thing. That's all. Ain't a big deal.
Yes, it is. Chewy Gonzalez, Butter Knives likes vanilla ice cream.
I'm sure he does.
Does he ever get away from the Butter Knives thing?
Nope.
And I hope he doesn't. Delaric, who's been a member for 37 months. Hey, there we go. Thanks for doing your job, Jake. So, because I'm cookies and cream, I can't play. That's right. Get out of here. You can't play, Delaric. Cookies and creams ain't going to work here. Mendoza knows he doesn't have to attend, so he's just not gonna. I think it's a big deal. I think the last thing I think Mendoza is mentally soft. I think his mental ability is probably his best attribute. I totally disagree. I think And how do I say this comfortably? The guys who are like all in on, oh, Jesus gave me this ability. Soft. If you look at the best, especially quarterbacks, you look at the best quarterbacks in the NFL. How many of them are my aunt with her loving, glowing eyes? How many of them are Jesus saved me? He's amazing. Wow, I have to give thanks to Jesus first and foremost. Wait, what was your question? Because that's who Fernando Mendoza is. Fernando Mendoza is God, God, God. It's all about him. I'm going to stay at home with my family. I don't mind if you have faith. I don't. That's totally on you. But when I look at the best quarterbacks in the NFL, how many of them are huge Jesus first guys and everything is amazing because of Christ?
Fivehead was that guy on some level.
How's that worked out? Not great. Matthew Stafford, probably the best quarterback in the NFL last year. No, he's not that guy. No, he's not that guy. Dak Prescott, not that guy. Drake May, not him either. I'm telling you, look up and down the list at the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not really sure why you're bringing him up. He's not the best quarterback in the NFL or close to it.
Josh Allen. Nope. Baker Mayfield. No. Justin Herbert. No. Bo's Nix. No. Caleb paints his nails. Mom's cleavage. Sam Darnold. No. None of them are like that. That's all I'm saying. Fernando Mendoza is soft. And yeah, the best quarterbacks in the NFL are heathens. Very true. Very true. Nobody thought Tebow was soft. Well, I also think that Tim Tebow didn't get an opportunity, and he did win a playoff game. So, Rob Wright is a traitor. Because he entered the transfer portal, he's a traitor?
Oh, bro, BYU fan is incredible, dude. This guy's a traitor because he's leaving our team. How could he?
Roger Staubach. Jake, who was Roger Staubach? Who did he play for?
Jets.
Thank you. It's good you knew that Roger Staubach was a... I mean, I do not even like organized religion, but just because a QB is into it, it doesn't mean they are soft. Bear Bachmeier's not standing around giving glory to God. And one, he's a true freshman. But Fernando Mendoza, I'm just telling you.
Let me ask you this.
Fernando Mendoza is the guy who's just super nice. If he wants to smash my daughter, yes, please. Oh, but he has to be my starting quarterback? Nah, I'm fine.
So then the opposite of Fernando is like, if you're just looking at the draft, right, and the quarterbacks, like Pavia is an example, but whoever you want to point to. Like, if a guy is not religious, but obviously Pavia is way undersized and has certain intangibles that are not great.
And his mom's hot. Right.
But so if you wouldn't ever draft Fernando Mendoza, does that mean you would consider Pavia more than Mendoza?
No. Nope. I'm never drafting. Diego Pavia is not a good quarterback. All I'm telling you is if a guy doesn't want to go to the NFL draft, I have a problem with that. I need him. If I'm the Raiders, I need him at the NFL draft. I need him there. The NFL needs him there. And he doesn't want to leave mommy. And look, if my aunt were as hot as his aunt is, I probably would still go to the NFL draft. Bring the family to the NFL draft. But he won't. And I'm just telling you. I think Jake was thinking about Joe Namath, who I think was a very religious guy.
I just don't think that comparing
religious.
any of these dudes to the guys of that era is just not responsible. I think that Fernando Mendoza, yeah, his style's a little different. I don't even disagree. I wouldn't, again, I don't have an issue. You've earned the right to choose what you want to do. You're the number one pick. I agree. It probably is better optically to be at the draft. Typically guys are at the draft if they're the number one pick. I agree. However, if he comes into the league and he performs, nobody's going to care, but that's the defining line, right? I mean, the defining line is always, are you good or are you not good? Can you carry the organization or can you not? And it would appear that under the new regime, the Raiders are in a better place, that they're productive, that they're making good decisions. So maybe he's got a legitimate chance. I don't know, dude. I don't know, but I don't know, man. I think that Dan Orlovsky has done a great job slurping Ty Simpson and pushing his value forward. I like Ty. I think he played a tougher schedule. I don't like how his season ended. He flamed the hell out at the end of the season. There's no question about it. It did not look good.
Yep.
I think, yes, he is a wonderful thrower of the football. Yes, he is a leader of men. There's no question about it. Yes, he translates to the league a little bit better personality-wise than Fernando does. No, I am not convinced that Ty Simpson will have a better career. I think there's a lot to be shown. It depends on where he's drafted. It depends on what kind of development he gets.
Ty Simpson is going to end up, I think his most likely team is Arizona. How's that going to work out?
Yeah, probably not great, right? I mean, that's it. There hasn't been a great track record there. So again, I would, as we've been doing the last couple of years, I would reserve judgment on both of these dudes until they get to a no doubt about it good opportunity. That's just how it has to be.
If you asked me, I would rather have I don't know. I just, again, am telling you. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian, a believer. You can't point to a quarterback through the history of the NFL, especially in the modern era, where all these dudes are soft. I mean, soft. You can't point to a guy who just asks and acts and talks the way that Fernando Mendoza does. That is a star in the NFL. I mean, the last guy that comes to mind for me was probably Kurt Warner. And he wasn't even the guy that's like, all the glory to God, my Lord. Like, Fernando Mendoza, go watch how awkward Fernando Mendoza interviews are.
He's notorious for it.
The yelling, the screaming, go watch them. And now you just things just add up, man. I'm telling you. It has nothing to do with his face. It's his faith. It's the way that it's his personality I don't like.
I think sometimes we not you, but like the comment section or just the masses, the public, like we make a bigger deal out of this whole thing than it needs to be sometimes. It's okay to not be a Ty Simpson guy or not be a Fernando guy.
Yes.
It's the essence of the draft,
100%.
dude. Like, you're not a Fernando guy.
I still think Cole Payton is probably the best quarterback in the draft.
Sure. Yeah. And again, like we've seen that before in years past. Guy who gets drafted lower has a better career. Maybe it is, but this is my point about the draft, dude. It's the essence of the draft. It's the minutia details around how you, like, what you perceive about a guy. Just the same way that you don't like that he's not going to the draft. You don't like that he talks about Jesus Christ and his dad constantly. You don't like those things. Is just the same way that another team maybe values those. Maybe the Raiders are saying, hey, we want that because we need some stability messaging wise. Like we've had quarterback after quarterback, problem after problem, and we want a guy to come in here and just be Mr. PR for 5 years, or whatever. Like, I don't know if that's the case, but maybe that's a strategy they're working. Who the hell knows? But all I'm saying is if you just look at it from an X's and O's perspective right now, Fernando Mendoza, if he goes to the Raiders, which he will, is already in a better position than Ty Simpson will be in, given that he's going to sit behind Kirk Cousins and given that he's got Kubiak to learn from. And that, to me, is a huge advantage for him.
What do you make of the David Bailey story?
I think that, again, great question. David Bailey and this whole conversation around consistent energy and like personality and like how he kind of goes about it. Defensive guys are a completely different conversation than offensive guys.
And for those of you who don't know the story, David Bailey is, some questions are starting to be asked because he's probably going to go number 2 right now. But some questions are starting to be asked about his personality and that incident with the photographer. Do you guys remember that? After the Arizona State game, everybody's on the field, and a photographer is taking photos of David Bailey, and David Bailey grabbed the guy. And I'm one of the people who's like, how did that fly so far under the radar? Well, now, because the draft is coming up and we're going to pay Buddy tens of millions of dollars, people are starting to ask questions.
Yeah.
It's a personality issue, right? Well, what about Fernando Mendoza? I'm telling you, him skipping the draft as the number 1 pick is a big deal. You just don't see it happen.
I agree. You don't see it. Totally agree with that. I even would go as far as to say it's weird. I would go as far as to say I wouldn't be doing that if I were Fernando. Like, I wouldn't. However, I think that it's okay to say, hey, he's skipping the draft. I don't like that. He's not my guy. I'm not drafting him. Okay, great. No problem. Cool. What David Bailey did to that reporter, grabbing him like that on the field, losing composure,
And was it violent?
I wouldn't call it violent. It was forceful.
I'm sure it's on Twitter or
it is. It's trending.
Instagram.
It's all over Twitter. Just search David Bailey on Twitter. It's all over Twitter right now.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah. But there's like a guy holding him back. He's got a hold of the reporter. Like it's.
And didn't he put his hand on his back and he was like pulling the reporter into him?
He was like trying to hold him basically. He was trying to control him.
Yeah, and it was last season, the ASU game.
Yeah.
And I think that the reporter filed a police report and like no criminal charges were filed, but it's a weird incident.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if it happens, right? Like it is, I don't know. I think you can't have things like this happen leading up to the NFL draft.
I think what's difficult if we're comparing guys is like you're gonna have a tough time being like, hey, maybe there's because essentially what we're saying is there's risk in both of these guys, right? Like David Bailey and Fernando Mendoza both have risk, just as I would assert that Ty Simpson's got some risk to him based on how it finished up at Alabama, based on where he's gonna be drafted, those different things. So these guys all have a little bit of risk to them. And it's how you evaluate that risk. I would say that David Bailey is one of the most reliable picks in the draft. But as a defensive player over the years, if I was an NFL GM, I'm always, with defensive guys, I am always trying to consider what the off the field risks are, right? And if you're willing to put hands on a reporter who's jawing at you or whatever the hell happened, like I got to ask questions about that. It may not necessarily mean I skip you in the draft, but I need to ask you about that. We need to talk through that. We need to look at that and say like, hey, what led to that? What were you thinking? You're not going to ask Fernando Mendoza, I wouldn't guess, why you skipped the draft when the reason is he wanted to go hang out with his family. And I think that is the PR optics difference. Behind the scenes, different story. Maybe they don't like it, maybe they do. But optically, at least with Fernando, it's like, yeah, he's a Christian and he's skipping the draft to be with his family. So,
Okay, so I went This is why I never get into Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the trending section on Twitter to try and find the David Bailey video. The first thing I get is a weather report in Texas with this woman wearing a dress. And she's fully Diana Rossini'd out. And people are like, oh, yeah, it must be cold in Texas. This is why I do not get on the old tweet machine. It's just, I don't. And it's fine. I just, is what it is. The biggest problem with Mendoza is that he's not the best quarterback in the draft. He was the quarterback of the best team in college. There's a difference. There's a big difference. I agree. Rumors floating around that Bain has character issues. Nah, I don't think so. I think people want, my belief is that, and listen, I know he didn't play at Oregon, so how good could he be? Desmond Bain, right? How good could he be? I'm telling you that I said Desmond Bain, the basketball player, Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain is does he have small arms? Yes. I think people are out here throwing out, oh, he's got character issues to try and make Ruben Bain fall down the board. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Oh, his arms are too short, Monty. Okay, cool. Let his arms be short, man. Because Ruben Bain's going to be a hell of a football player.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yep.
He's going to be a heck of a football player. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I would love Bain to be a Chicago Bear. Bears.
Yep.
We'll see. I'm just telling you. This NFL draft stuff. Because I still maintain if we look at if we ask who the singularly best player in the NFL draft is, it's certainly not Fernando Mendoza. Right? Well, I mean, can we at least all agree on that?
Yeah, I would probably be Ruben Bain.
I think that's a really tough thing. I think that's really tough. If I had to...
Yeah, I just think when you look at position and what it takes to impact the football game repeatedly, Ruben Bain plays the easiest position to impact a football game. Edge, outside guy. That's...
I think I'd probably take Arvell Reese over Ruben Bain.
Yeah.
Him or like Jeremiah Love has to be in the conversation as the best player in the draft. Yeah. Francis Muinoa out of Miami has to be in the conversation as the best player in the draft, even though he's an offensive lineman. I think it's probably Arvell Reese, but I think it's going to be interesting. Quarterbacks, I still think it's really close.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really, really close. And I'm really curious who's the quarterback in this draft that shocks people. Because it's going to be boom or bust for Fernando Mendoza. That's just what being the number one pick is.
Yeah.
But it's like Luke Altmaier or Cole Payton. Could they be the best quarterback in the draft? I think that's going to be tough. I think that's going to be tough. I also think guys like Garrett Nussmeier, Ty Simpson, hell, Cade Klubnik is built for the NFL. Right? What is he? 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds? The guy's built to be in the NFL. I don't know who the best, like this Jordan Tyson nonsense. Like Jordan Tyson apparently not doing well in interviews. I'm curious to see how Jordan Tyson ends up in the NFL. Like I fanboy on the draft. I love it.
And we're all on the same page that Fernando's 6'5", 235, right? We all know that, right? Like,
why, Jake?
Well, I'm just saying, we're sitting here saying that we're working hard to find reasons as to why Fernando is not, solid or not good or not.
It's personality, dude. It is personality. There's nothing that Fernando Mendoza can't do on a football field necessarily. He's going to have to learn speed, and understanding the NFL is very different than he's not going to have a great defense. He's not going to have an even serviceable offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
But, is what it is. CJ Tiller is going to be the best QB in the draft. Did you guys hear Diego Pavia, who, again, outside of his hot mom, I can't stand Diego Pavia. Did you hear that Utah State, and I if I get this a little wrong, I apologize. Diego Pavia was on a podcast I was watching.
Right there, we're already making mistakes.
Diego Pavia talked about how he heard a Utah State football coach telling Vanderbilt players to get into the portal because Diego Pavia is fat, slow, and he can't run. And Pavia says that motivated him. And that's why he didn't come out of the game against Utah State. And they thumped Utah State. Like, do you buy into that kind of motivation? I don't not buy into that motivation. Wow,
yeah,
look at
possible.
The sun just blazing into my studio.
Yes.
You think it's possible?
Yeah, it's possible for sure. I mean, guys can come up with all kinds of reasons to get motivated, dude. My issues with Diego are just that he thinks he's better than he is, and you want to talk about personality issues, he's got them. Like he just does.
So you're not high on him at all?
Not at all. I would never draft him. I'm in the place with Pavia that you're at with Fernando. I would so much rather have Fernando than Pavia.
Well, I think any of us would. I'm not saying Fernando Mendoza is going to be a bad quarterback. He's not going to be a star. Diego Pavia won't be a quarterback in this league at all, in my opinion. But Altmaier will get killed. He has very slow decision process for a QB. Drew Aller will make some scouts drool and continue to suck. I think Klubnik and Nussmeier might end up being better picks. It's interesting about. I still think Cole Payton's a very interesting prospect. Go look at Cole Payton. Luke Altmaier, I would agree, has some limitations. Drew Aller is just average ass Aller. Cole Payton is the guy that I think we don't know about. He is and I should look it up, but I want to say he's like 6'2", 230. He's a huge dude. And I think he will be great. He is interesting. Let's see. The first thing when you Google search, Cole Payton, Todd McShay levels 52 touchdown QB as most underrated prospect in the draft. Cole Payton is the most underrated prospect in the draft. I think he's a day 2 pick, and he's going to surprise some people coming out of North Dakota State.
Google me.
McShay said. North Dakota State has a proven track record of sending quarterbacks to the pros. Carson Wentz, Trey Lance, both sucked. Right? I think in today's dual threat quarterback world, I'm a huge fan of Cole Payton. But we'll see. Pavia is a Canada football or UFL QB. UFL QB.
Agreed.
Ooh. Who's a bigger draw, Pavia or his mom?
I mean, I guess his mom.
Wow. You will never say anything nice about her, will you?
Nope.
Just because?
Damaged goods, dude. Not about it.
How is she damaged goods?
Dude,
Hot knife through butter.
Yeah, dude. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
You're ridiculous. She is not damaged.
I wonder what her ice cream preferences are.
Stop. Pavia couldn't decide between chocolate chip cookie dough and Cherry Garcia. Bro, I love me some Cherry Garcia. You want to lay down some Cherry Garcia? I will not say no. I will not. Cole Payton might be another system QB. No, I think Cole Payton is an excellent thrower of the football, and his athletic ability and size make him very different. I feel this is a very weak QB draft, 100%. If I were the Raiders, I would take Bain and wait for next year, play the long game. If I were the Raiders, I would trade the number 1 pick. Not even a question. Jake is not man enough for that bucking Bronco.
That must be it, dude.
Are you soft?
Yeah, that must be it, dude. Yep. Couldn't have said it better myself, right?
Okay. But let me ask you this. Can you get the flag up the pole? I sent Jake this story last night. Can somebody explain this to me? Here I am at 53 and just ready to go on a moment's notice. Ain't no purple pills. Ain't no none of that. Yet we have late teen, early 20-somethings unable to run the flag up the pole. What do you attribute that to in your amongst your fellow young folks, Jake?
Too much consumption of content on your smartphone. That's what I attribute it to. Simple as that. I think that people, and it's not just adult content. I think that people mentally just spend too much time in their phone. I think that
I agree.
I think that we have lost the value on being outside, getting sun, having fun, good vibes, and enjoying life a little bit. We all stress about. I mean, again, it's the graphic, right? I mean, you look at this graphic and you're like, bro, like 57% of young adults 18 to 25 watch this stuff at least once a month.
Pornography.
One survey found that 2/3 of Gen Z began watching before the age of 16. So your science says that your brain is not fully developed till your mid-20s. So your brain is still developing. You are teaching your brain what that part of life looks like for you. And then you're surprised when your body doesn't respond to, the situation. I mean, that it's not that difficult to understand. This has nothing to do with testosterone levels or like the body's ability. It's signals from your brain. You've remapped your brain to say, hey, this is when it's time and this is when it's not time. And the only problem is you that puts you in a bad spot. That's the issue. And I think that it's all the same as like, people talk about like, hey, your bedroom is for two things, right? Sleeping and repopulating. And so if you have a TV in your room, or like if you're the person that's up scrolling till midnight, you're rewiring your brain to say, hey, this, when you lay down, it's not actually time to go to sleep.
I would agree.
It's the same thing. And so that's why I just like, this is a really tough story because it's like, this is totally preventable. And it all is just about how you're doing the little things during the day to day. That's the problem.
I think this is one, we over medicate. Two, I think this is in this anxiety, depression, medicate. Anxiety, nervousness, medicate. And I think young people are now, the fact that you're a 17, 18, 19-year-old and you cannot perform sexually is stunning to me. And that is the level of toxicity in this country. And the way that we have made our young people wholly reliant on cell phones and smartphones and digital devices. I talked to a dude yesterday who I had to teach how to type on his smartphone, but he was 67 years old. Right? You look at the way that we put cell phones in kids as soon as they bang off their mom's thigh, they have a smartphone in their hand.
Yeah.
And we think they're not digesting adult material. You're completely wrong. We have set so many of our kids up through overstimulation and overmedication that I probably shouldn't be surprised that we have so much sexual dysfunction in our young people.
Yeah, I just think I would agree with that. And I think that part of the issue too is like, it's I would guess it's difficult as a parent to just bluntly tell your young kid, your teenager, why this is a problem. That's probably a difficult conversation to have. And I think that the value in it though is the bluntness of it and the brutality of it, if you will, the hey, like, this is what's happening and this is what you're doing to yourself. And nobody but you can stop it.
Yep.
Right. And instead what we do, in my opinion, at least what I see, is it's like, hey, we're going to just try to put all these parental controls on their smartphones and make it feel like we're locking them down for whatever reason, because we just feel like it. And I think that's really the problem is that as much as people want to talk about like the Gen X millennial parental relationship, I don't think, millennials based on these kind of stories are doing their kids any favors. And I think that that's the hard part is like, we have this responsibility to teach our kids how to responsibly use technology. I mean, we just think, oh, it's an iPhone, just put it in their hand. It's not a problem. Like, what's the big deal? And it's like, no, dude, actually, like, it is a big deal. There is a responsibility and you do have to learn how to use it and understand the consequences of those actions, man. And also understand that if you're willing to not watch this content, that the chance you do get with whatever your situation is, your body's going to respond well the way it's supposed to. That's the problem.
Yeah, Marcus and I have talked about this with his daughter, and it is very interesting that Marcus has I want to say like a 23-year-old son and a 15-year-old daughter. And his daughter is the consumer of pornography, not his son.
Yeah. Which I think is a huge misconception. We all think that this problem is just unique to dudes.
I agree. I agree. And so how did Marcus tackle that? They already had a rule. The cell phone was a fight, and then Marcus they would argue over it because his daughter had her cell phone at the table. Marcus is old fashioned. He essentially has dinner at the table every single night with his kids.
I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah. And he created this no digital zone. And that caused a huge fight with us. We talked about this on the show, I think. Remember we were talking about how families don't sit down together anymore? Well,
yeah.
They had a huge fight over the cell phone at the table. So it turned into, okay, well, I'm going to take your cell phone away. When dad gets home from work, the cell phone has to go into the lockbox, which is this charging dock thing. And it sits there for the rest of the night and you can use your iPad. Well, then he found that she wasn't the most savvy about deleting her browsing history.
Mm-hmm.
And she was consuming pornography on the iPad. So now the iPad's not allowed in her room. Like, it's just been this whole thing. And so one of the things that Marcus did, I thought was very interesting, was they had this conversation. And he read the studies to his kids about what pornography does to young people's brains.
Yeah.
And it was like a light bulb moment for his daughter.
See, that's what I mean. See, that's the kind of parenting that you need to be doing. You need to not be scared to drop the real world consequences Like, that's the problem. Like, there are too many parents, in my opinion, that are like, yeah, you can't have your iPad in your room, but we're not going to do the study portion like Marcus did, right?
We're not going to tell you why.
Yeah, we're just going to say you can't do this and just go sit in your room. Like, that's not good parenting, dude. That's poor leadership. That's not good structure. Like, there's a very clear, dude, humans are not that complicated with certain things. It's, hey, this is what we're talking about. This is the topic. This is what happened. This is why it can't happen. And then this is what we're going to do to make sure it doesn't happen. And we need to be in agreement as to why your iPad can't be in your room.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. I think that's how you should be doing it. Part of life is going through the pain of learning a lesson.
Yeah.
Like, that's just part of it, man.
It's really tough because I think I would agree. I'm so glad I didn't have daughters. I couldn't have done it. The way that we as men treat women in this country, I couldn't have raised a daughter. Women are sexual objects. And when you have all that young male hormones and testosterone in a public high school, dude, that is so difficult to deal with. And I think it's tough enough raising kids in general. But then when you bring in stuff like, hey, you're 17 years old and you cannot perform sexually because you are so addicted to pornography. Okay, let me put you in counseling and deal with your anxiety. Well, here's some drugs to help you deal with your anxiety.
Yeah.
And then Jake and I know a bunch of people who used to like get together for work and take ADHD medication, literally take Adderall to try and do a better job at work.
Yeah. It's just such a mistake, dude.
It's crazy to me that we just can't focus enough. And I attribute a lot of it to digital distraction, digital toxicity, because you look at these other places around the world. My wife was telling me about this, I think an article she was reading about digital detoxes where you just put your phone away. I can't remember what it was, but essentially this dude went without his phone for a period of time and he was way better off.
Yeah, there's so much. Listen, dude,
it's incredible.
This is a conversation you and I have had many, many times over the years, and we'll continue to have. And it's one I'm sure many of you in the comments section have had repeatedly. I think that the digital toxicity is a great way to describe it. I really like that label. I think that the amount of time that we spend around technology and screens and just like all of that is not what we were built for. I don't think that humans were built for spending all this time, around computers and things like that. Yeah. Is it a wonderful partnership? Is it a super utilitarian way to do things? Absolutely. We can do so many things with the tech that we have, but make no mistake about it, man. We are built to be outside in the world doing things. That is our prime, highest, best use as human beings. And when you do that, this is why I love golf so much, because you want to talk about performance, dude, when I go out at 9 a.m. and I play 18 and I get some sun and I got a lot of water in the system and I had a lot of fun golfing, like, funny how life gets a little bit better, dude. Vibes are better, versus spending your entire existence in the office all week or stressing on this or that. And it's like, dude, like at some point it becomes about just enjoying life. Like that's what it becomes about. And I think that that's a really hard thing that we as people have to deal with right now is like, how to find that balance. And that's never an easy thing to do.
Yeah. Look at the mayor. I'm in the thick of it right now. I have 2 daughters, both 16 and 15. It's crazy. My wife is amazing, though, about navigating life and talking to them about sex, boys, etc. You have to do it. You have to do it. And it's just so amazing to me how culturally different the United States is versus all these other places around the globe. Because it's not like this around the world, I'm telling you. It is. Can you imagine raising a 16-year-old daughter? Oh, that just sounds terrifying to me.
Yeah,
right?
There's also pros to it. I think that it's not easy, it's challenging, but I'm sure that if you ask the mayor if he'd have it any other way, I doubt he would say yes.
We should all have boys, no more girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Because the problem is you can't hawk them. You have to, if you don't talk to them, it's what happens when you're not around.
Mm-hmm.
It's what happens when you're not around. I'm telling you, that's the dregs of it all, is that you have to communicate effectively with your kids so that they make better decisions when they're making these decisions on their own.
Yeah, you have to communicate effectively enough so they know the consequences of their decisions. The decisions they make, that's on them, but they need to know the consequence before the decision is made.
Yeah, I never had prescriptions when I was a kid. I don't pretty much take any drugs outside of Advil.
Nope.
And I don't even take that anymore. Right? Like it's wild to me. My biggest drug as a kid was Capri Sun and sugar, which is why I was fat. And stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, the world is different. Oh, look at that. The king of Thailand's here. They tried that in China and the gay population exploded and birth rates killed their economy. Well,
this got serious.
But we talked about this the other week. The fact that China has, I think we talked about this. China has a future problem.
Yeah, they're misreporting their birth rate.
China does not have young people. China's population is plummeting because old people are dying. Because they put in these birth rate caps. And now they don't have young innovators.
Right.
So they're having to buy all of their technology. It's crazy to me what China's done with their population. Monty going both complete opposite Elon and full China at the same time. Oh, boys. Bro, it would terrify me to have to raise a girl. Oh, my God. I know. I grew up in a time where when I went to a girl's house for a date, when in high school, Dad was sitting on the porch with a shotgun asking what time I would have his daughter home.
Different age, dude.
Down. Yeah, different world, right? Different world. Chinese phones and cars are amazing. The electric game in China is completely different. Completely different. Ghost cities in China are amazing. You can find a documentary about it. Yeah. So if you guys don't know the full story, the Chinese were very overpopulated, they thought. So they started doing this stuff where you can have 1.5 children. That's it. Right? Well, it turns out they weren't overpopulated. And now with millennials and Gen Zers not having kids, China's literally running out of citizens that are in the working age. So they're engineers and they're scientists and not happening. They don't have the volume of young people to create future workforces.
Yeah.
And I know we use big words a lot, but it's a literal existential crisis in China. Because they don't have young people developing into thought leaders because they restricted it so heavily.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That's what you get.
It is absolutely. You look at what's going on in the world. The stories around the globe are incredible. And yet I'm just more obsessed with hitting a golf ball.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
My life really does come down to, damn it. It's beautiful and it's 70 and sunny Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Get a great tee time on a beautiful golf course Saturday. Rain all day, 50 degrees. Sunday, rain all day, 50 degrees. Monday, 70 and sunny. So I'm playing a local muni Saturday, and if it rains, it rains. If I die, I die.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, it's just, put those spikes on, right?
A week and a day to go until Las Vegas. Looking forward to it. Cannot wait. So there you have it. All right. The Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Find yourself in an accident? Are you injured? Did you slip and fall? Did you get attacked by your neighbor's dog? Weather's improving. A lot more people out and about. Kids are on the street. Kids are riding bikes, scooters. Slow down. Take a look around. And if the worst happens, get to the best at theadvocates.com, where you never reach in your pocket to pay the advocates, because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. Talk to an injury attorney 24/7, 365. Not a chatbot, not AI. A real live injury attorney at theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.